going straight in. So a lot of these horses get a little bit kind of nervous right off the bat. You were pointing out that he was breathing a lot harder, his eyes were big, and he just kind of kept kind of like a giraffe and his neck was up. So I want him to know that just because the trailer's here doesn't automatically mean we're going to go straight into the trailer. Like, you know, we can come off to the side. He can smell it. He can touch it if he wants. And I haven't done any flag work with him yet, so I'm just going to touch him with it before I start moving it around. And every time you introduce something new to your horse, make sure that you rub him with it before you actually start using it. And this comes in handy. We were talking about it with Aziz when I was asking the horse and Kathy to move left and right. I don't want to aim towards the hind end to have that horse move forward. Because with him, if you'll see, and this is where that exercise is important, because here if you start moving that hind end, people automatically think that, oh, that horse is going to move forward. But if we do this, as horse owners, we start kind of bringing that horse over this way. And we're like, why is that horse not moving forward? Well, we're bringing that horse over here with our left hand, and we're kicking their butt away, and then moving over this way. So I want you guys to remember that when you want that horse to move forward, I want that cue to be on the shoulder. Okay, good man. That's my horse there. I'm sorry. And again, shoulder, 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 shoulder. Good. So I'm starting to let him know when he gets close to the trailer, pressure's completely off. Not even worried about it. Okay? So I want him to think that anytime he's away from the trailer, there's pressure. There's pressure to move forward. Okay? Licking and chewing. And I've given him the break by the trailer. When he's away from the trailer, that's when he gets a little bit worked. That's when he gets worked, not a little bit worked. That's when he gets worked. That's when he has to move his feet, I should say. So again, here I'm not going to touch him just yet because I've asked him to move away. He's away from the trailer. Move, move, move. Now he gets closer to the trailer, and I release the pressure. So he starts associating the trailer with the safe zone, and he relaxes. Okay? Good man. So again, I'm not going to get after him just yet, but now he's away from the trailer. Now he's close to the trailer, and I relax. He's away from the trailer. He moved away from the trailer. Pressure, pressure, and then he gets close to the trailer, and I release. Good. And again, my fault. Goes towards the trailer, I release. Good. He goes away from the trailer, work, work, work. You'll see, testing, there you go. So you'll start seeing he's pretty smart. He'll get pretty quick that every time he's close to the trailer, I let off, okay? And again, I don't like doing these sessions in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because it can't be hurried. It has to be, you have to give yourself some time. I'm handy enough that I could do this in about 5 minutes, but I want it to be realistic, where there's a lot of movement going on, a lot of stuff happening, okay? So again, and the biggest thing, I said this earlier, when they go in the trailer, don't go in there and try to keep them in the trailer. That's the biggest thing. He needs to know that he has that option to get out, okay? So when he goes in, let him come back out on his own. Don't be in there with him, especially a horse that has issues with getting in the trailer. Don't be in there with him, because he's going to want to get out and you're going to be trapped. Okay? When I'm doing these sessions, I'm always outside of the trailer with a long enough rope that if he turns around and leaves, I have enough rope that he's not going to get away from me. So don't use a small lead rope. Okay? So again, pressure. Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Good man. Shoulder. Good. I'm using, it's not a tool to always move away from. I want him to know that it's okay if this is touching him. He doesn't always have to move forward. He doesn't always have to move forward. Like our legs, when our legs are touching the horse's body, it doesn't always mean go forward. It just means to relax. So there needs to be that light switch. If there's energy and a cluck behind it, go forward. If it's just this moving around, it shouldn't mean anything. Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. And here I'm blocking the shoulder, but I'm also blocking his face. So just in case he decides to come towards me. Good. Licking and chewing. Pay attention. Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. And notice my left hand, I'm not sitting there banging on his face. I'm just holding the whole time, just like I do with the reins. Good. And again, a little bit of a breather too. It's not always just push, 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 because then that's when they start feeling claustrophobic again. Good. Good. And there he had a moment where he thought, I might go backwards. So there he took a step back. I'm going to tell him that's the wrong choice. You're going to work if you take a step back. Good. So that's huge because now he's in the trailer with just his head, but he's kind of sniffing it and touching it. Again, the biggest thing when he goes in, let him come back out. That's where a lot of people make a mistake. So as soon as he takes that step back out, good man. Good man. And this time if he wants to come back out, I'll let him come back out because that's a pretty big step for him to stay in there for a while. It was the coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out that I'm still going to have him go forward on. But when he does this and then backs out, don't worry about pushing him back in. Again, he needs to know that there is that option to move, to be able to move out. Good. And that back right leg, even though he's in a weird situation, he's cocking that back leg up. You guys can see that back right leg. He's cocking it up and relaxed. Even though he's in a weird situation where he's half in, half out, he's still relaxed. Good. Good. Good man. And I want him to know that he's not in trouble for coming back out. I want him to know that he came out nice and soft. He didn't come out and start banging his head on the top of the trailer. So here I'm going to have him lick and chew, just like I was talking about earlier, because he was kind of stoic. He came back up. Good man. Good. Good job. So he had his rest. Good man. Good man. And even if he backs out, if he turns around and then backs out, I'm okay with it. But he just needs to know that he can't come back out. He needs to. Like I was talking about when we go on an airplane, they go over all those safety measures. We might not ever need to use it, but just the fact that we know that we can, it's kind of a peace of mind. It's the same thing for them. So here, if he wants to turn around, okay with that, even though it was kind of chaotic. He learned that nothing bad happened. So there's kind of abrupt. Good man. Turn around and came back the other way. Licking and chewing. I can't stress enough how important it is for them to know that they can get out. Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Good man. Good job. Good man. So he moves away from the trailer, now we're going to work. Moves away from the trailer, we're going to work. Good man. Good man. Good job. So this time he went all the way in, all the way to the front. And if he needs to turn around,
Much nicer.
that was a lot better.
That was a lot better.
So what we want to get is to the point where he just thinks about coming out face forward, but just stays in the trailer. But even that wasn't bad, because when he stepped out more relaxed.
Right. That's it. All right.
That was nice. And you'll realize that I'll stop pestering him when he's in the trailer. there's nothing to be scared of. They don't need to run away. They want to be in that spot where they can be lazy. I was talking about that earlier. They love to be lazy. They're normally just lazy animals, but good man. And I'm okay with this here, where he's just kind of good. Good man. So that was a little bit more hurried. Work. There. Much better. So I liked everything about that. Because even going in, I didn't have to ask him once to go in, it was just all on his own. It was his idea. All the way through, got me stopping, good job. So now he's done that. He's done this. So now I feel confident enough that I can go in there with him and everything will be fine. And I'll show you that next part. This time I want him to get down because I've asked him to, not because he thought it was his idea. Good. So not every time he gets down it's going to be because he thought it was I asked him to. So he has to be waiting on me. Yep, that's my guy. No, he's just annoying. He's just a baby and needs to figure it out. Yep. So here I'm going to go back to that shoulder. So now, every time I feel he gets stuck before I come in, just like how he did, I don't have to get out anymore. I don't have to have anybody with the butt rope behind him or anybody smacking on the butt. All I do is just swing that lead rope on his shoulder, and he moves forward. Now we're going to back out. Nice job. So here, I backed him up a couple steps, and then we stopped, and I gave him some love, and now he's licking and chewing. So not just because I started backing out, does that mean that we're going to back out every single time. I want him to be patient and wait on me. And that wasn't bad.
It wasn't as bad as the first time.
Yeah, that's the first time, so it was expected. So he's licking and chewing. So that to me, every time I do these exercises, I let them lick and chew. If you interrupt that thought process while they're still licking and chewing, they're not going to record what you just taught them. So when they're licking and chewing, leave them alone. If they've done something good, leave them alone. If they've done something bad and they're licking and chewing, go in there and interrupt that train of thought so that it doesn't stick in their head. Good. Nice job. So he's in here, his back legs cocked up, he's nice and relaxed. Just back him out. Back him out. So every time I want him to stop, I'm just rubbing on that shoulder. So I'm going to back him out a step, and then rub, and hold. Good job. And hold. Not bad.
Much better.
Not bad. One step, rub. Another step, rub. Another step, rub. Another step, rub. Good man. Not bad. So I'm gonna do about 2 more times, and I'm gonna have each one of his owners that are here come in and do it with him as well. So I want you guys to notice my hands. When I'm asking them to come in, my left hand is opened up and saying, come in towards the left. This right hand that has the lever open and that's loose, up towards the shoulder. Cluck and just hold. There. Beautiful. Back up. Rub. Back 1 step. Rub. Back another step. Rub. If he starts backing out fast, don't hold. If he starts backing out fast, the worst thing you can do is try to hold on. If you try to hold on, they're going to throw their head and hit their head back here, and then you're going to have to work through a whole set of other problems. So if you feel that the horse is backing up pretty fast, just let him back up. We have enough rope that he's not going to get away. We're in the arena, so he's not going to get away. So here's an exercise to do to help with the backing out slower. So I'll put him in about halfway, and then back him out again. That way he just gets a hang of in and out, and me asking him to back out. Oh, that's nice. So that was nice. Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Good man. Ankle. That was nice. We'll do one last time, and then I'll have one of you either. Yep. We'll do one more time, and I'll have you do it, okay? And that was nice.
That was real nice.
That was really nice. And this technique works with straight loads. It works with any type of trailer. It doesn't matter what trailer you have. I can confidently say that I can load any horse in the trailer with what I'm doing.
So do you think like tomorrow, if we tried to load him again, we'd have to start from part?
Probably not. He's
with a
smart
long
enough.
line?
He's smart enough that